a list of the top 30 countries around the world with American expats was just published by Stars Insider. Let's take a look at the top 30, and Costa Rica is not number one. Welcome back to the channel. This is Sharma Roussel, living at El Canal in Brescia, sharing information about moving to Costa Rica, retiring in Costa Rica, and living in Costa Rica. So the top 30 nations, we'll start with number 30 and work our way up to number one. Number 30 is Norway with 18,500 Americans living there as expats, it is estimated. Next is Turkey, then Guam. Then Guam also is an incorporated U.S. territory, which allows for ease of travel. Then there's China, which is a very fast developing economy with a lot of modern technology. And some think that technological advancements in China will be leaving the U.S. behind in the dust very quickly, especially in the area of renewable energy. Next is Colombia, then Brazil, then Sweden, then Micronesia, then Greece, and then Ecuador. And number 20 is India, then Ireland, the Netherlands, New Zealand, the Philippines, Switzerland, Peru, and Bangladesh, which was surprising to me. But in the explanation, it explained that a lot of people working in technology, Americans working in tech jobs, are in Bangladesh, a lot of digital nomads. Then there's Italy with an estimated 54,000 American expats. Then Spain. Then number 10 is Japan, followed by France, South Korea, which has a lot of American military personnel living as expats in South Korea. Then Israel, with a lot of American Jews, Australia, then working our way up to Germany at number 5, which also has a lot of American military personnel. Then Puerto Rico, another unincorporated U.S. territory. The United Kingdom is number 3. Canada is number 2. And Mexico is number 1 with an estimated 80,000 Americans living as expats in Mexico. Now you'll notice that Costa Rica is not even on this list, which is a surprise to me because in my several years of research, Costa Rica and Portugal always came out as number 1 and number 2 on these lists. And Costa Rica and Portugal are not even on this list. So that was a big surprise to me. And the U.S. State Department estimates that there are 70,000 Americans living as expats in Costa Rica. So certainly that's much more than the 18,500 in Norway or the 19,000 in Turkey or Guam. So I don't know why Costa Rica is not on this list, but it's not. But I'm going to tell you all the reasons that I love living in Costa Rica and why I chose Costa Rica and would choose it again. Costa Rica has a stable democracy, a relatively stable democracy, especially for the Central America area. It has 3 functioning branches of government which hold each other in check. That seems to be working relatively well. It has a stable economy. So the US dollar, in fact, is declining against Costa Rica money today. Maybe that will change. Those of us living here certainly hope so. The renewable energy. So almost all of the electricity consumed in Costa Rica comes from renewable sources, mostly from hydropower. The commitment to environmental preservation and sustainability, which you can see everywhere in all sorts of the Costa Rican culture. The protection of ecosystems and wildlife habitats by law, which holds developments in check. Plastic bags are banned in Costa Rica, so you almost never see plastic bags, plastic cups, plastic utensils, or plastic straws in Costa Rica. You never see styrofoam, hardly ever see styrofoam. Nobody has ever showed up at my apartment with a styrofoam cup with a plastic straw and a plastic lid, which is a good thing. There is no military in Costa Rica, and there has not been since the 1940s. So that money that would otherwise go to a military force instead goes to universal health care for all of the citizens and some of the residents, and it also goes to the education system, which is they have an excellent functioning education system. I've done a previous video segment about that, and I'll create a link to that at the end of this video so that you can see a little bit about the way the education system in Costa Rica works for all of its children, all of its youth. The relatively low cost of living, especially when you shop locally. The mass transportation system, which is still developing, but the bus system runs on schedule almost all the time and is mostly clean and convenient. There's a bus stop right outside of the gates to the community where I live, and so it's very convenient for me to take the bus downtown and then go shopping, go meet my friends for lunch, run other errands. And it's very inexpensive. It's the equivalent of like 70 to 75 cents. Um, Also, Costa Rica is not really a gun culture. People don't walk around with guns in their pockets or guns hanging off their belts. There are no mass shootings in Costa Rica. I think there was one time, a very long time ago, but it's just not a gun culture, which I find very refreshing. I also appreciate the safety that I find in the Central Valley part of Costa Rica. So, I've been here more than 6 months and I've never experienced a crime or seen a crime. I don't know anybody who's experienced a crime. Now, certainly there are crimes, and there certainly are violent crimes, and mostly they seem to be drug related between gang members. However, uh, so far this year, in the first 6.5 months of this year, two tourists have been murdered. Those were at crowded, popular tourist beach locations and not in the Central Valley where I live. I don't know the details on those two incidents of violent crime. There also is a very robust expat community, which allows for a fast sense of belonging here in the Central Valley of Costa Rica. The utility bills are very, very low. I have no heating bill and a very low electricity bill for a 2-bedroom apartment. And again, almost all of that electricity is generated by clean renewable energy, mostly hydropower. So my electricity bill every month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment runs $35 to $45. Of course, I live in an excellent climate, so that most of the time I can keep the windows open and have a nice breeze. It's 60s in the night 70s during the day, and sometimes it gets up into the 80s when it's really refreshing to use the swimming pool, to take a dip in the swimming pool, do some exercises in the swimming pool. Um, it is very inexpensive to eat out, uh, to take an Uber when compared to places in the United States. It's very inexpensive to see a doctor, to have a prescription refilled, and also to hire um, help. So those are some of the reasons that I chose Costa Rica when I was looking 2 years ago. I chose to visit Costa Rica a year ago, and I chose to move here 6 months ago, and I would choose Costa Rica again. If you have additional information or alternative information, please put it in the chat, in the comments section. It's in the comments section. So, Pura Vida, ciao.